Today, drama means curses, drama means fighting till the last breath, and drama means reincarnation is really confusing. Hi, welcome to Drama Means. Today we're talking about the 2025 Thai BL drama, Khemjira.
And first, a summary. A cursed young man seeks out the help of a powerful shaman to fight off the vengeful spirit that is determined to kill him before his 21st birthday. So, horror BLs now.
Horror, I don't know.
And ghost BLs, what are you thinking?
I'm just saying, I normally cannot handle horror. And luckily, I feel like in this drama, they kind of, even though it is lots of very scary things, they kind of pull it back a little bit. It's not really meant to make you, it's not meant to have that jump scare.
No, but let's first define, you are okay with slasher films, you're okay with gore, you're okay with violence. It is specifically ghost stories. You don't want any part of ghost stories. If you watch a ghost story, you got to sleep with the lights on. But somehow, here we are, watching this ghost story.
I don't know how I managed to watch this. There has been a few nights that I left the lights on, and I very, very reluctantly went to the bathroom. Because that is, for me, the scariest place for, horror.
Well, ghosts, they like to hang out in the bathroom. As why not?
Yeah, I guess.
Seems like the best place to be.
Oh.
It gets you alone.
It's quite scary. But I did manage to finish it all, and I enjoyed it very much.
I do think you're right. I think this drama wasn't trying to jump scare you around every corner. They obviously had the creep. It was more creepy than scary. And I think that just the way that the camera worked and the way that the music worked and the way they revealed when spirits were around gave you a chance to kind of know what you're about to see rather than just trying to scare the bejesus out of you every time.
Yeah. It was never really the purpose to scare you. It's just that they happen to live in this.
Well, he's cursed.
Yeah.
He's cursed by a vengeful spirit.
Yeah. So, I do appreciate that. That it wasn't meant to really give you, that big scare.
Yeah, and I think when we say this, too, I don't think we're talking about a show that was, cheesy in its horror either. They did play it for horror, for scare. It just wasn't necessarily meant to make you jump out of your seat over and over again. That's not the experience they wanted us to have watching this.
Yeah. Growing up, I felt like by far Thai movies and TV shows did horror the best. Because when they really do want to scare you, holy craziness, it is so scary.
Holy ghosts, Batman.
So, I do have to say, they didn't try to scare you on purpose.
Yeah, and they also, they had a lot of priorities in this show as far as, setting up the romance and the drama. It wasn't just about, it wasn't a scary movie. Although the episodes were massively long.
They were massively long, even though there are only 12 episodes, but it's every episode's 2 hours.
Yeah, it felt like a feeture film. Watching this, is this still episode 2?
Yeah. So, roughly you think, 12 episodes, but 2 hours per episode. So, really 24 episodes.
Yeah, it was a longer watch, I think, than... I don't know. I want to kind of understand the reason for that. Why not just make 20 episodes or 24 episodes or whatever and just make them a little shorter rather than who knows the format of where when it airs in Thailand, it's hard to kind of know how it was presented there. But yeah, this is 12 movies.
Well, the thing is with iQIYI, a lot of yes, all the Chinese dramas are about 40 minutes to 45 minutes. But because it's it's a streaming platform, they're we can have a lot of their variety shows are 2-hour episodes and then 2-parters.
Right.
So it's just,
Well, British shows do it too. I mean, I remember the pilot of Sherlock, I think, is like an hour and 40 minutes or something. So it's almost a mini movie. So it's not unheard of. It's just, I thought it was me. I was like, man, does this episode feel really long?
The thing is, they're telling like 3 stories.
Well, I think too, like when they're doing the extended flashbacks too, like if you were to do those extended flashbacks in a 45-minute episode, it's a good portion of the episode gone before we even get back to our characters in the present day.
Yeah.
So that might have been a kind of justification. Like you say, they're trying to deal with, the reincarnations and the origin story and the reincarnation story and all these different things.
Yeah, and then the romance. They covered a lot of ground, and they did it so well and so well balanced, because they did have to tell you, okay, well, here's your story. This person is cursed, right? Khem is cursed. Then we want to show you Khem and, what should I call him? Peem? Paran?
Master, whatever, yeah. Shaman man. Sexy shaman.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we have to know we have to develop their romance, their relationship, like.
And then we got to see the backstory of that relationship, and the kind of karma that came from that, and so they're weaving a very complex tapestry.
Very intricate. Yeah.
And I think you're like, when they're not trying to scare you or they're not giving us this creepy moments, they do kind of let it all go away and then give us the romance, give us the character building, the meet cutes, like all the stuff that you kind of want of a drama like that. And then they work their way back to the overarching problem of the show.
Yeah, which I think is really great, because like in every episode, you have that scare, that intense moment, right? And then you're given some time to like breathe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, now you're allowed to be scared and anxious and like you lose your breath when you're like kind of intense like that. And then you're like, okay, we get a moment and we get some like nice bonding between, your 4 main characters, and then the bonding of like your 4 main characters with some of the other villagers and other characters. So it is very like a weaving of this tapestry, as you say it.
I do think they did a good job connecting all these characters too, where you have, your main pairing, your secondary pairing, then the friendship between the 4 of them, but then also the relationship with Grandma, the relationship with the villagers, the relationship with his sister, Jet's sister. Like they just kind of connect the college friend. And I think that was like, everything was done with purpose. And it wasn't just kind of slapped together. Oh, these people are in a scene, now we have to do something. It really felt meaningful.
Yes. Like everyone has a role to play, and they all know that they're like, this is what I need to do. Jet is the best friend, and but he's also like Peem, Paran, whatever, shaman's disciple, right? Like he never loses sight of what he's supposed to be doing and who he supports. Like just everyone is like exactly what their character is supposed to be. They never lose, like they don't change just because the scene needed them to change.
I think that's a great point, because I think too, a lot of these characters, all the characters grow and all the characters have to go through something. Yes, the show is about Khem and his overarching problem, but every character has their own little hurdles they have to kind of get through, and decisions they have to make about, Jet, removing the blockage so that he can see ghosts again against his father's wishes. And so there's a lot of growth every single character gets to achieve. So it's not just tagging bases with, oh yeah, now we have to like pay attention to this or that. Like it was definitely, like you said, like purposeful, meaningful, and then it makes all the characters connect to each other and it gives everyone an arc.
Yeah, I am so impressed and just enthralled by this whole show and production. Like the production value is like amazingly good.
We have really good cinematography, especially like underwater, low light.
Yeah. And then this is adapted from a book, and there's been so many adaptations out there of not this for this book, but like just different books out there, and I've just seen such like low budget, like, oh, like the beginning is good and then they didn't really know how to like finish it. And this one is so complete and done so well that I'm just so impressed with the whole production.
My only gripe about the show over, I mean, I have a few minor gripes, but one of the gripes I have is that I really wish Khem's character did more to help himself. Like, it felt like everyone was kind of rowing this boat, and like even homeboy with the glasses, like he's like kind of like a sage himself, and he's powerful and like in his own way. And Khem is just kind of like, please protect me, guys. like, hey, could you learn a spell or two, buddy? Come on.
He wanted to though, but they didn't teach him.
I know. Well, that seems silly.
Well, they didn't teach him, and because he couldn't, Peem couldn't take Khem as his disciple because
they're already connected. Blah blah.
Well, no, because he wanted, like, he had an ulterior motive of becoming the disciple.
But also, right, there's a vengeful spirit trying to kill him. So maybe, like, teach him just one or two tricks.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is, in the beginning, he knew how to, like, chant spells and stuff.
Yeah, he just wasn't powerful enough to really fight her because she's not just a normal, run-of-the-mill ghosty. Like, she's the super badass 4th-century-old ghosty.
Yeah. I do like that he doesn't like, so there's so many of these like ghost shows where like the person can see ghosts, and every time they see ghosts they kind of freak out or they jump or they scream or whatever, and he is not like that. He is just like, I do see them and I see spirits and and I just kind of ignore it. Like I know they're there. Even like the scene where the lady that had just given birth and then like the guy, the baby's dad, is like a 2-timer. That scene, and there was one part where like he drops something and he looks under the bed and he sees Ramphueng's feet. Right? And like he sees it and he does have a like kind of gasp moment, but like not like a gasp for everyone to hear. It's just this like a little inner gasp. And then he doesn't say anything until he thinks that Ramphueng is like messing with the lady that had the baby, right?
Right.
So like that's the only time that he was like, okay, now like, she's messing with him, we need to save her, but it's not like a, oh my god, I see ghosts, and like every corner, every time that he sees a ghost, like he freaks out.
Well, he's playing the role like someone who sees ghosts all the time. Like it's kind of like when we watch, whether it's a time travel thing or it's a, transmigration thing. At some point, the character has to stop being stupid and realize, no, you're in the 17th century. Stop expecting there to be a refrigerator. Like, stop being stupid at the premise of the show.
Yeah.
And I think this show does a good job of, he understands, he's grown up with this his whole life. So, like, when he sees them, yes, it's freaky, but it's like, he doesn't just scream and shout. I mean, no, this is just my life. Like, and I think the way they demonstrate that awesome is the kind of homeless guy at the beginning who he kind of looks at him and he's like, oh my gosh, is this a ghost? No, just a guy like living on the street. Oh, hey, sir. And then, oh no, he really is a ghost. So I'm like, that's how you would really live that way. You would be scared. You just wouldn't be screaming at shadows.
Yeah. I really like how organic this show has been, from the characters and how they interact with each other. Even though it is a very like, I don't want to call it fantasy, but like it's
supernatural.
Yeah, it's a supernatural show, but like everyone is so like grounded, I guess.
Well, that's the other point. Like, we live in a world in this show where spirits exist. And if that's the world you live in, that's a grounded thing. And, it's kind of like the X-Files where you're like, hey, Scully, do you believe in ghosts in episode 207? I think you have to start believing in ghosts now. Like, you live in a world where those are real. You can't like, well, that's impossible because that would mean ghosts are real. Yes! Yes, motherfucker, yes!
Oh. So another thing that I'm really, really, really impressed with is the acting, but especially Namping's acting.
Jet, right? No.
No.
Who's not? Oh, Khem. Khem's.
Khem.
Yeah.
So it's because I really like how Namping like reacts to things. It's not over the top. It's like very natural, very organic, and it's just like I don't know, like he's just so it's just like, oh, that's him. And then he does a scene where he's supposed to be Jet that looks like him, and literally all of Jet's mannerisms from his like how he's standing, his posture, his facial expressions, even to the point of how different his eyes look on how when he just looks at someone, like the it's just like completely Jet and it's not Khem anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that someone can do that is like amazing to me because we've seen so many like gender bender shows, those like bodies like or soul swapping shows where like someone has to act like someone else because their soul is in the other person's body and like and usually you see these a lot because when like a guy all of a sudden has to act like a girl, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they just overdo it so much because they clearly don't understand how women like move their bodies and it's like so over the top and I'm like, have you ever really looked at a woman and seen like that's how they behave? Because how you're acting is not how that character or woman behaves, right? But in this one, Namping really got every essence of how First One acts as Jet. And it's just like a lot of people judge good acting just by crying scenes.
Well, I've decided crying and shouting is why most people think acting is good.
Yes. But really, if you want to see how good an actor is all those like little moments. The how you look at somebody. Like I talk about eye acting all the time. In this one, like it is very, very, very difficult to act like someone else acting as someone else.
And I think one of the culprits to the acting problem that I'll call it, of not appreciating kind of the subtlety in a performance like that, is the era of editing in which we exist, where everything is just cut, 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 cut. And like movies are now edited like music videos. And for actors, it's the death of subtlety. And when you have longer shots, you have closer shots, you're not afraid of a close up. Now actors can actually do the thing that we want them to do. And I think they picked their shots really well to show you the acting, not just cut, 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 scare, cut, 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 scare.
Yeah, they really put an emphasis on the acting ability of your four leads. And actually fifth lead because Ramphueng is like amazing in it.
Yeah, and she's a well-drawn character. Like, I mean, she has so much depth, not just the, senseless, nameless bad guy who just wants her revenge. Like, there's just so many layers.
And the thing is, she's a bad guy, but she like a lot of times we see other shows where like the bad guy is just like screaming all the time.
Right.
And just like angry 100% of the time, like 100% level of anger. Whereas like her character, there's like so many variations of her emotions. Like then you get to see the scene where like, oh, she remembered how it was to be a mom and she saved that baby.
Yeah, she actually stepped in and did a good thing for a second.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute, there's a layer here that is different than what you've presented so far.
Yeah. And it's so well crafted in this show. It's just, you really, like her character is developed so well. And the thing is you feel for her and like, yes, you don't want Khem to die, but like after seeing her go through what she did, I'm like, yeah, fucking kill everybody. Like, I'm like, I'll curse them too.
No, I think this is the one opportunity. I think we complain sometimes about how, don't make me necessarily feel sorry for the bad guys. Don't make me necessarily like cry for our villains in shows, especially when they're the mustache twirly, emperor. Like, I don't want to cry for that guy. Like, let me understand his motivations, so I know that you did your writing homework, but I don't really want to cry for him. But here, I think the way it was kind of doled out and it was kind of slow rolled and the characters got to experience it, the audience got to experience it, we got to be with her, it kind of works.
I agree. Like, I feel like every character has been so well developed. So, like, even when we get to see the backstory of Jet and Chun's past lives, and then you understand more of like why Chun was so like enthralled by Jet right from the get-go, like just like couldn't take his eyes off of him.
There was a chemistry there, right away.
Yeah, and it was just like, as the audience, at first you didn't know, and you're just like, oh, he's hot for him, whatever. And then you realize there's just and he has that like kind of sense, that sixth sense that like he didn't know he had before, up until, he's started becoming Peem's disciple.
Well, I mean, that's the interesting thing here. Right now we're talking about like the fourth male lead and the villain as drawn characters that you understand motivations, you can root for, even if you have to root against, like all these things that just means as you're going through this show, you're caring about every single one of them and you're not letting any kind of thing just go, oh, well, he's into him, he's cute. And then, then they just do a thing, which is like the lazy way to go.
Yeah. So it's just how much care that they took to make this drama. I was blown away.
I would say the one thing that I really appreciate with the villain of the story is my issue with these types of shows is often the powerful bad guy who won't kill our main character at the beginning of the show just because. And they do a decent enough job. There's a few times where I'm like, well, she just killed the guy already. Like, she's had so many chances to kill him. But, like, they do a good enough job kind of explaining why she hasn't actually enacted her plan yet. Like, she gets thwarted, but then at the same time, she's toying with him. She wants to torture him. It's not just about the death. It's about the journey to get there and the people who are meddling. So, like, I think they did a really good job of handling that, because that can be, for me personally, it can kill a show. Of like, oh, the super powerful person who can't get anything right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, Peem was very powerful too.
No, yeah, and she has the obstacle. She's getting more powerful as the show continues, and so it makes sense. Like, no, I'm not going to go up against him, head on, one until I'm at my peak. Even if that's risky, I might miss my opportunity. Like, I have to wait till I'm at full power.
Yeah. Ryan and I had these, like, a really long, ongoing discussion about reincarnation.
Oh, we're going to get into it now.
It's just because I grew up watching a lot of like reincarnation shows. I grew up as a Buddhist. So, we have this belief that, if you're fated and like you just have this karmic connection, right? So no matter reincarnation, life after life, you kind of get entwined with people you knew in your past lives.
Uh-huh.
Which then Ryan brings up that that means like no matter what, you're always like with the same family.
Well, it's like so here's where the discussion starts, right? Because we see Khem's former life. He's a woman. His parents are played by the same two actors that played his parents in the present day. They are, whether they're fated to be together or not, we're seeing the same two actors play these parents, and now he's their kid yet again. And so it started making me question, like, okay, wait, is this curse bloodline? because that's how it's presented to us at the beginning, is Khem's mom is cursed, she's sick, and he is cursed. And she basically says, I've passed this curse down to you. We are cursed. So to me, I'm like, bloodline curse, right? Like that's at the beginning with the way it's presented.
And then I was like, no, it's a karmic curse, because every reincarnation, no matter who you're born to, I guess, you're going to die. You're going to, fulfill this curse, right?
Right, because Khem's previous life, reincarnation-wise, not bloodline-wise, was also cursed.
Yes.
Right? But then you throw in this weird wrinkle of the parents are played by the same people, and you're making it seem like it's bloodline and karmic cursed, and that gets weirdly messy for me.
So here's the thing. When we watch the scene of when she actually places the curse on them, she says, may you never have any heirs and your bloodline dies off, basically, right? And then anytime you reincarnate, all these people that she's remembered in that scene where they all were bad people towards her, I've remembered all of you. And no matter how you reincarnate, if you reincarnate as a woman, you are separated with your beloved. And if you're reincarnated as a man, you will die a terrible death, right? By the age of 21.
Yep.
Right? So she actually cursed both bloodline and reincarnation.
Right, but you can't curse the bloodline and say you're not going to have any heirs, and then Khem's mom keeps having heirs. She keeps having Khem.
No.
So therefore,
okay, no.
therefore, the mom's cursed too, because the mom was there at the very beginning too, played by the same actress in those scenes. And so, I'm going to curse you won't have any other offspring for the rest of your... Well, wait a minute. Yes, she did. She had several offspring.
But no, but her offspring always dies.
I know.
So it doesn't matter. Okay. But,
and so does she, apparently.
And she also dies, right? But, here's the thing. The only thing I think is weird is that during Khemika, right? Khemika's lifetime, she has, a heart issue and she's ill, and then she finds out that her beloved died at war, even though it was fake. She has a heart attack and dies, right? And then you show her parents, and you never show, it seems like her parents are having a hunky-dory time. So her mom wasn't cursed at all in that lifetime. And we never saw that if she was cursed or not. That is a little glitch, which is such a small glitch that we're do we even care?
But also, Khemika doesn't have a bloodline to pass down at all because she dies before she can have a baby. So the only way that the curse can continue is through karmic, reincarnation. Because that bloodline stopped with her.
Yes.
So then we go back to the present, and his mom is like, I'm passing you this curse. It's well, not really. The curse was passed from my last life, not necessarily from you, Mom.
But, okay, but yeah, the mom really even knows. Come on.
But
the mom probably thinks it's her. Because it's not like she knows. She doesn't know the whole story, or origin story in, 1700s.
No, I know, but she does know that she's cursed, and she passes a curse to her son.
No. So that's the thing. Because that's just what she thinks. Is I'm cursed, so, and I know,
she said there was a curse that runs in my family, and this has happened in my family, so there's a curse that runs in my family that had to come from somewhere. Someone told her, hey, honey, there's a curse that runs in our family. Probably her parents. And so it's a bloodline curse. Until it's not. It's a karmic curse. It gets real confusing, because Khem and his mom have been mother and child 50 times. They keep getting reincarnated. So, what, is Khem his own granddaughter?
No, because it's... No, it never works that way.
I'm just saying,
because
it gets confusing when you start unraveling this onion of, is it bloodline? Is it karmic? Well, it's karmic, but then people are acting like it's bloodline, and the audience is confused too. People on the internet saying well, this should be end. Like, they should let Khem go because, he's in a relationship with another man. They're not going to have an offspring. That's their bloodline. I'm like, not a bloodline curse. Karmic curse. Dummies.
But also, I don't understand, like, because at the end when Ramphueng was like, I only want him to die. He's the last one.
Yeah, is she going to end his reincarnation with this ritual? Like, how does she know he's the last time that they're going to cross? Like, why does she think this time is going to be different?
Yeah, because, like, he's going to die and then reincarnate, and then she'll continue to kill every single reincarnation.
Yeah, that to me was a weird thing for her to say, and because it wasn't set up as, well, I actually have a way now to keep him from reincarnating, which then it would be the last.
Yeah.
But that was never brought up.
Yeah. And then also, like, it's not like she said in the beginning, I am going to kill everyone for, like, 7 lifetimes and then I'll be done. Like, she never said that. She said every single lifetime. So there was, like, there shouldn't have been any end for her to say, you're the last one. So
I think that line of dialogue was a little it was writer convenience, because they need the moment when the monk says, no, but what do you actually want? You think you want him to die. What do you actually want? To see your baby again. Like, that's what you really want, and you're so angry that you can't get that because you've never taken a step back and analyzed your anger. And I know we needed to get there, and so they have her say this line about, oh, I'll be satisfied once you're dead. So the monk can go, well, will you though?
Yeah, because none of the other times none of the other lifetimes Khem died was she satisfied.
No, absolutely not. So there is some that it gets a little weird with the reincarnation.
It's very hazy, and the thing is with reincarnation, like, no one really knows.
No, I'm not even, like, not in the science of reincarnation, so I'm not giving it. It's just when I start thinking about it, it starts to make my mind go batty. And I think one of the things they could have just helped me with is that the parents not be played by the same actors over and over and over again. Like, Khem isn't played by the same actor when you go back. It's played by a woman.
Well, when he was reincarnated as a woman, but every single woman lifetime, it's the other.
Yeah, but they're showing the continuity there. But, like, Khem is played by our main lead, a woman, and a kid. So we see that person being played by 3 different people. So you kind of, okay, great, reincarnation. The mom is always the mom.
Yeah.
The dad is always the dad.
Just 2 lifetimes, because
2 lifetimes, yes.
The origin one that was this big fat head, I don't know. He really irritated me. Also, he was just like...
Oh, gross.
He was gross, but also, like, your main wife literally has had so many stillborn babies, right? Why would you believe this time her baby was so healthy and it was the other lady's baby that was the stillborn? And that, like, it was just like...
You know what I thought? They missed an opportunity with that, where it felt like he should have really not believed the wife.
Yeah.
And it was Khem and his mom that turned the tide.
Yes.
And that it would have been like, because they were scared of the wife. And so you're like, oh, because he's just like, wait a minute, this story is weird. Can we get some clarity, please? Like, this story is just weird.
Yeah. And then it would make sense why we're seeing, like, Khem's words were like the nail in the coffin, right?
Right. And they were, but it wasn't a reversal. It was just more mustard on the hot dog.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know why we're not watching a story where she kills the main wife over and over again, and it's her.
Well, she does that in her spare time. No, but I think she does.
I mean, that's why, like, we don't see her that often.
Yeah, when she's off screen, she's torturing everybody else. I actually do believe that, and I think that's actually a good thing. Like, the refrigerator logic of that makes all the sense.
Uh-huh.
But I do think if I want more of a reason that she's so hung up on him. And it's like, no, like, all you had to say was, like, he would have believed you so easy because the wife's crazy and she's had this history. And he's just like, wait a minute, but you usually have the stillborns. Not like, what's going on here? I'm very confused. Just straighten it out, little girl. And she's like, nope, she did it. It's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Now I know where that anger comes from, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, enough about reincarnation. The other thing we need to talk about is the ending.
The ending, it makes sense, but also it doesn't quite sit that well with me because it's so very like, okay, this has to happen. And then this has to happen. And only if this happens does this happen. And then this will happen. And I knew it all along that it's going to happen exactly how I think it's going to happen for it to get to where it needed to be. And it was just very like, oh,
we're talking about the monk's explanation,
yes,
right?
Yes.
I mean, even before that, I thought their plan was wasn't that clever. Like, it seemed clever.
I thought it was good, like, doing the doll thing and then being able to. I don't know why they needed to go back to the house, I guess.
I mean, he was trying to get her to some place that was remote from an army of people she could possess. So I got that. He was trying to get her on her own. It was kind of just like, oh, look over here. Oh, look over here. Oh, look over there. Like it's a shell game. Yeah. They play a shell game with her, which to me is fine. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that clever to me. But then when we get to the monks, kind of like, they almost make a joke of it about, when homeboys, Charn is like, oh yeah, and what about this? What about this? What about that? What about this? What about this? And it's like, whoa.
Those are all the questions that the audience actually has.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're like, well, we're going to shine a light on that. We know you guys have questions and we're going to answer it this way.
And the answer is more or less of like, it all had to be in order for it to be. I'm like, okay, buddy, this is what we call in the writer's room. And if you say so, it's when the logic is just kind of trust me, bro.
Yeah.
That's what had to happen.
Like, here's the thing, is I like the whole, like, oh, the monk is actually, the reincarnation of her child.
Yeah, good reveal.
That's a good reveal. And then it also, because when they had brought it up, is like, oh, we need to find this monk. He has some kind of connection to her. Like, they had set that up early on, right? Once they mentioned that there was this monk, right? The thing is, I just don't really think they needed the loved ones to come back, because that felt so like, oh, you just want to bring them back because, like.
Yeah, it felt like a way to make it all the sacrifice less of a sacrifice, so that when Khem doesn't, like, kind of vote to, like, punish her, that it's like, yeah, no harm, no foul. Yeah. Even though there was.
And it's just like an extra little sappy moment for everybody. And then they spent like all this time saying goodbye to their loved ones, which they already said good. I mean, they didn't say goodbye to the grandma, I guess, but like, still.
But this is where I would have appreciated Khem being the one to put the 2 and 2 together and realize the monk was the son, and whether or not the monk, had been silenced or like couldn't talk or something. Just give me a reason why the monk can't say it. He can't be the one to say it, so that someone else can go, holy crap, that's how he's connected to all of this. And then she looks at him and realizes it's true. Rather than the monk just being like, and now let me jump in and solve the problem.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No. First of all, it should never be said. And the thing is, she found out because she was trying to kill the monk. I understand that part. Is like when you finally, like, you go and aim because you're so angry and you're like literally like a hurricane going and trying to kill everybody and massacring everybody. And then she goes and tries to kill the monk, and then it's not even revealed. He never says it.
He says mother.
Well, yeah.
He says to her, Mom, and she's like, oh, fuck.
No, that's like after the fact that she already knew that he was, because she saw it when she went to go strangle him and he was about to die, they go into that space. And then that's when the reveal is, not when all of a sudden he says mom.
Yeah, but potato.
No,
It's
that
all
was
happened
like,
at the same time.
she already knew that. No, that is not the problem. The problem is like, why did it have to get to that point? Like, why did the loved ones had to come before she would come and attack me? Like, you could have made it so much easier. It's like, oh yeah, like, of course I would go attack you, you're there, right? Just start chanting and then she would go attack you. Like, it didn't have to be such a string. Like, we needed point A and then point B and then point C and then point D and then we'd finally get to point E. Like, I felt like that part was...
But that's what I mean, is that no one had to do anything to get to this point. Khem didn't have to find out anything in order for them to go, oh wow, this is who put these two and two together. We just had to wait until the guy was sitting there, like, just the dominoes fell down. And like, this happens all the time in television drama, where you're waiting for your bad guy to do a thing, and so the good guys don't have anything to do yet. And so everything they do is inconsequential. Like, it doesn't matter what they do, because at the end, you just have to get to this moment where the guy who's been standing there the whole fucking time is the key to unravel this. So we need some sort of mechanism in which we have to reveal this, or someone figures it out, or something where it's like, oh, the only way that could have happened was us going through this hardship. You know, that's why it's the epiphany right before the death moment. That, oh my gosh, now that I know it, I can act on it. I didn't know it 6 months ago and just decided to twiddle my thumbs. Like, this guy, why wasn't he hanging out with Grandma the whole time? Grandma was like, hey, you need to get here. Khem's here, and then that bitch is coming. No, let's wait till episode 12 and we'll give him a call. Hey, get on a train, motherfucker.
No, first of all, they called him way earlier than that, like episode 8.
16 hours into the show, they finally get the idea to call the most important character in the show.
They didn't even know about him.
I know, but Grandma did, and Grandma knows what's going on.
No.
What are you talking about?
Grandma didn't know him either.
I thought Grandma gave them the guy.
No, Grandma knew him as a person, as a monk that she's worked with before. She didn't know he was connected to Ramphueng until they did that little seance-y thing in the forest with all of the
I forgot about the seance-y thing
and stuff. And then they saw. You're
getting really aggressive right now. Very aggressive. I'm feeling a little bit afraid for my life. We can have discourse without threatening each other.
Nothing. I threatened nothing. I'm just saying.
Good thing there's not video of that. I forgot about the seance thing. All I'm saying is that in that final episode, Monk Boy is sitting on his duff the whole episode, waiting for a moment that just, well, all of these things had to fall into place for this moment to be revealed. Like, they make fun of this moment in Spaceballs, where, and this is the greatest movie of all time for this reason, is that Yogurt tells, oh my gosh, I can't remember the character's name. He tells him, Lone Star, I know what your amulet means. And he goes, great, what does it mean? He goes, no, it'll be revealed to you at the proper time. Like, that's literally what he says. And that's what happens here. Don't worry, my son. It'll be revealed to you in the proper time at the climax of the show. Like, shut up. Do better.
Well, yes, when I watched the ending, I was like, oh, I don't know, it just didn't quite sit well with me. So, I did have an issue with the ending, even though I know I've been, like, defending it this whole time.
It's just, it was a little copy out. I think that was the biggest hole in the whole thing. It's not like it makes the show suck. It's just like, again, it's one of those things a lot of shows do. You go, well, if you say so, big guy. I guess that's what had to happen.
Yeah. Can I talk about, I know you mentioned continuity earlier, and it's not that pronounced, but I'm pretty sure the scene where like they get in the cars, right? Shun and Jet get into the white car, and literally Peem and what's
his college buddy, right?
Yeah, what's Net's name? And Net's character.
Yeah.
They get into a red car, and then as they're driving, you can kind of tell that they're riding in a blue car.
Well, the top's down now.
Yeah.
There was a roof on this red car, and now they're in a convertible that might have been a convertible that was red, but now the top is down.
Yeah. And so the thing is, well, we know why the top is down, because when Khem is sitting on Peem's lap, his head goes right out the fucking top of the car, so we can't have the top down. But the thing is, it was just like did you guys not know that they get into a red car and get out of a blue car?
Yeah, maybe they didn't. I mean, I've done that before in shows.
It's just...
We had a Humvee one time that we shot a scene, and it was green. And then on the way to set the next day, the Humvee got into an accident. And then there was no other green Humvees in all of Miami, and so they gave us a white one. And so they leave in a green Humvee, and they arrive to the hotel in a white one.
Oh my God.
No one was ever the wiser.
Really? No one noticed?
I doubt it. I think we minimized the outside shot because it's this big hotel, and so like what you see is this big hotel, and it's a car driving up. Who cares? But yeah, I remember being on set, and the producer came to me and went, "Oh, by the way, our Humvee got into a wreck." I'm like, what do you mean? Is it okay? Do we have a replacement? Well...
Oh, no. That's probably why. But, yeah, so I was just like, okay, there's some, like, such a great, like, produced, like, just the production quality is so well, and then there's this, like, little continuity.
Well, Game of Thrones had a Starbucks cup on set, so...
That's true. Anyway, but yeah, so... I know... I loved this show. Like, the things that we talked about does not deter me from giving this a Around the World in 80 Days.
I think it was really well done. I don't think I liked it as much as you did. And I'm actually not necessarily deducting in my rating because of the reincarnation confusion or the ending. Like, it didn't really affect it much. I thought this was like a solid, what do we call it, in the buffet line? It was a solid in the buffet line. Like, it was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I did like the acting, and I do like our two leads a lot. I think their chemistry's great. I didn't say anything about that, but obviously, like, I thought they were fantastic, and the production value is fantastic. So maybe drinks on a pool deck then.
Oh, didn't you say there was a scene that you said, I remember you saying, oh, this production team really trusts their audience.
Oh, there was that moment. So they did a lot of things in this that was like, Peem's line to Khem when they first meet, he says, my face is getting worn out because he's staring at him. And then at the very, very end, in the last episode, after he's graduated, he's come back. And then Khem says the same thing back to him. You have to be paying attention. They're not going to flash back and show us that was cute. And so there's a moment where we saw Khem's previous life when Peem's character left to be the doctor to go off to war. And the creepy ghost brother, was comforting Khem as the wife. And she's got her friends there, and he wipes her tear away from her face. And then when Khem goes back, he finds himself in that dream sequence or whatever, when he finds himself back at that house, and he's standing in the same place that she was standing, and that ghost guy starts caressing him in that kind of creepy way, but he's wiping the tear from his face in the exact same way he'd done it before. A lesser show would flash to that moment so that we understand that he's doing the same thing, even though it's, Khem and Kamika, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this show is trusting that you understand what you're watching, and they did that a lot. There was lines of dialogue, there was things that were staged, that I'm like, again, a lesser, dumber show flashes back to go, did you get it? Did you get it? And they just didn't do that to us. And like, I appreciate that so much because it means you have to pay attention. You can't be scrolling TikTok and watching it. Otherwise, you miss those things. You'll still enjoy the show, probably. You'll just miss the layer.
Yeah.
And I'm all about the layer.
Yeah. I really appreciate that as well.
Yeah. So I would say, like, drinks on a pool deck is probably more fair than in the buffet line. It's maybe teetering, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt because they took so much care with so many things.
Yeah. For me, it is definitely Around the World in 80 Days. And this year, I was going back because I think I want to do a of course, our yearly wrap up. We'll probably do a top 3, best dramas of the year or something. But I was looking back at all the stuff I watched, and I was like, man, I watched a lot of stinkers this year.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely one of the better things of the year so far. So,
yeah, so definitely Around the World in 80 Days for me. I don't have a rec.
Watch something ghosty.
It is Halloween.
You know what we should recommend? We should recommend a movie that made Mel scared to go to the bathroom.
Oh my god.
And it's called Running on Karma with Andy Lau. It's a Hong Kong film that isn't even that scary.
It wasn't.
It's just weird. And there's a freaky sequence where a dude comes out of a box, like a Jack in the Box, I think, and then runs through Hong. It was weird.
It was creepy as hell. I was so afraid that I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself.
Yeah, so let's recommend that. So we'll show your growth. How far you've come.
I have come a long way. I feel like I can watch scarier things now. Like, I mean, Khemjira, like, I was, like, pretty proud of myself for watching this.
To the point where you're looking at previews for other scary ones going, oh, we should watch that one. I'm like, who are you?
Well, the Mystique in the Mirrors is now on iQIYI, and I don't know if it's scary, but I also am really scared of mirrors sometimes, especially like in the dark. So if this has any, and like there's a Hong Kong horror movie that's like, to me, really scary called The Mirror, with Nicholas Tse in it, and I'm just really scared of mirrors.
Learn something new every day.
So I don't know if I want to watch Mystique in the Mirror because it's fucking about mirrors, and so maybe I don't know. I actually don't know what it's about, but it looks scary, so I'm scared already.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for listening this week,
and see you next week.